time to do the weather. Time to do the weather. It's time to do the weather. Whew. I love doing the weather. Hello, everyone. I'm Meteorologist Jeff Matthews. Thanks for checking in with CNY Weathertainment.com for all of your weather needs. And boy, am I a happy camper. Because I'll tell you what, remember yesterday's forecast I mentioned that Oneida County, the rain would end at 1:35, and I did calculate that, and 3:30 for Otsego County, and I calculated that too, and right on the money. It's almost like I know what I'm doing. Almost. 73 the average high. We're going to take the temp down a little bit for Thursday. This is brief. Mid to upper 70s, but then we ramp it up for Friday. Saturday, a transitional day. Cooler for Saturday night, Sunday into Monday, and then we start to ramp it back up again Tuesday into Wednesday of next week. So a little cooler and drier for Thursday. Let's emphasize the little, even though we like to hear the cooler and drier part. And Friday the scorcher is on the way. It's going to be a warm, humid, sticky one. And the confidence level now for Sunday, which I've been kind of hesitant about, close call, now high. I feel good about the forecast for Sunday, but does that mean the forecast for Sunday is good? I'll let you know in a moment. Here comes a cold front rumbling through. This is earlier on Wednesday. There's storminess in the south that I'm watching because that's going to play a role in our forecast future, and all of that rain is still going on from the panhandle of Texas right on up through the U.S.-Canadian border and out towards Idaho and Nevada as well. Here's the weather scenario. Cool front having moved through yesterday, last night, dries the air out, cools it off a little bit for Thursday. We'll start off with a little bit of clouds behind the front until 8 o'clock in the morning, but then it'll turn totally sunny for the rest of the day because this is the big weather player for our next 48 hours. Big chunk of high pressure coming out of Canada again. It's going to beat this little storm to the punch by moving overhead, and then that storm will have a decision to make. Let's talk about that decision. The front that's moving through early this morning, taking the clouds with it and going away, so that's disappearing and going bye-bye. This high to the south is going to keep the heat and humidity right at bay to our south, only to return again for Friday. This high going to race in and join up with its cousin here. Keep it dry for Thursday, keep it dry for Friday. And then the highs split again with a one retrograde southwestwards, the one goes out to sea. And that puts on the block for this little storm, forces it to our north and west. We stay on the warm side of it. And eventually a cold front will come racing out of central Canada, link up with this cold front, sweep on through for Saturday afternoon and evening, setting off rain and thunder. Could be intense. And then dry weather. Good news for Sunday. Speaking of good news, have a look at your weather almanac. Look at that forecast, high and low. Doesn't get much more accurate than that, my friends. And we picked up 1/3 of an inch in the rain bucket. 15 hours plus of daylight. That trend continues for another 3 weeks when we get to about 15 hours and 25 minutes of daylight, and then it begins to reverse. But enjoy it while we have it, and I'll see your 7-day forecast in just a minute.
Welcome to Intermission. Intermission.
So your Thursday forecast starting off with a few early clouds, but then turning sunny by 8 or 9 o'clock and staying so for the rest of the day. A high temperature in the mid to upper 70s and a fresher wind than we've seen lately out of the west, 10 to 15 in the daylight hours. For Thursday night, clear sky, a light northwest wind or even calm, and a low around 50. That's not too tough to take. And then for Friday, we ramp it up into the mid to upper 80s. A hot, warm, sticky one. Saturday, oh, just sultry, just muggy with a little hazy sun in the morning. Afternoon storms into the early evening hours. It'll be a warm, sticky wind. And then cooler, drier air for Sunday into Monday before the haze and humidity work back in the middle of next week. That is a check of your weather here at CNY Weathertainment.com. Tell your family and friends, get in on the fun and become a fan. See you again next time.